Well, what do we have here? Going live on a Tuesday? Couldn't be me. Holy shit. Hi, hello, and welcome, everyone. It has been a while again. I feel like I say that every stream these days, but it's the truth. But I have been inspired, and so I managed to scrounge up the motivation to go live today. It's not like I didn't want to go live today. I've been itching to stream again for a while now, but yeah, we're back. And this time I have no excuse aside from my own laziness. So there we go. Work has been rough. As I told you guys last time, my throat has been on fire ever since I got COVID about 3 weeks ago over New Year's. And yeah, lots of things compounded, and I could have gone live. I just chose not to. But I'm feeling better. Throat is definitely much better now. I've got some real gravity behind my voice. I'm not coughing every 5 seconds, and work is thankfully slowing down now, especially after what it was an awful Monday, and the first half of today was really rough. So thankfully, I don't think tomorrow is going to be too bad, and the second half of today at work wasn't too bad either. So things should be getting better. But yeah, so today we're going to be having the stream that I promised a while back ago, which is going to be a ranking of all of the Honkai Star Rail trailers. Well, maybe not all of them. There's a few trailers that we won't be touching, like the Gamescom trailers, that stuff. We're going to be ranking the three main categories of the trailers. It's going to be the Myriad Celestias, the animated shorts, and then of course the character demo trailers. Those are the three that they usually do. Those are the most infamous ones, or the most famous ones, and so those are the ones we're going to be ranking today. I've already got them pulled up on tier list maker, and we're going to be doing a nice tier list. We're not going to be reacting to them, so I did say that we were going to react to everything, all the Myriad Celestias, all of the animated shorts, and all of the character demo trailers. Not going to do that for the main reason that, holy shit, I took a look at how many they were, and they are a lot of them. It would take me several hours to react to all the Star Rail trailers, especially if we add in the character demo trailers, because those are long and plentiful. Because animated shorts, Myriad Celestias, not every character gets those, but every character gets a character demo trailer. So that would take at least 8 hours. And then on top of that, there would be another 6 hours for the Myriad Celestias, and probably another 3 or 2 hours for the animated shorts. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't got the time for that. I don't have the stamina for that. So we're just going to rank them today. Don't worry. I have done my due diligence. I went through, I reacted to all of the, well, I didn't react to. I watched the trailers that I hadn't yet watched, or I've seen every trailer. I watched the trailers that I hadn't watched in a long time to kind of get a refresher on, the older 1.0 content that was coming out. So, and of course, I have all of the Enforius and Penacony content well within my head. So, no worries there. But yeah, obviously, if we need to watch back a trailer on stream here today because I completely forgot it, we're gonna do that. But I'm pretty sure I remember them all, and I've got a good idea in my head on how I want to rank them. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. So should be fun. Should be a chill stream. We're probably gonna go 2 or 3 hours. It depends on how much we talk about each ranking. If we really go deep onto our discussion, then yeah, that's gonna be a long stream. But if we're just kind of gonna be slotting them in, pretty short, pretty chill. So should be a good time, like I said. Anywho, when can you guys, well, housekeeping items. When will you guys be seeing me next? So Star Rail 4.0 is going to go live fairly soon. In fact, it's going to go live in about, I think, 2 weeks, right? We're all anticipating it to go live February 10th, or generally whatever that Wednesday is, the second Wednesday of February, I think. And leading up to that, we of course have our live stream. JD, yes, because of the delay. Good to see you, JD, my friend. Hope you're doing well. But yes, because of the 2 week delay, normally the new story patch 4.0 would be coming out this week. In fact, tomorrow, but it is not. And so we're going to be getting the live stream soon. That should be expected either this Friday or the next. And so Star Rail hype is coming through. It's starting to build up a little bit for all of us, right? And so I wanted to do kind of something leading up to that. So, but yeah, JD, hope you're doing well, my friend. Good to see you. How's it going? How are you and yours? Happy afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you may be, however you may be listening. We're going to be doing a tier list today. Should be a good time. Should be really chill. Hey, you did get Fugue, huh? Hell yeah, man. Congratulations. Did you go to Pity? If you went to Pity, I'm sorry. Or if you went to 50-50, that's fine. But if you really had to dig deep, that really sucks. Especially considering we will be getting the new characters here soon. So, ooh, that's another thing we can do actually. Before we do the ranking, maybe we should kind of react to the new characters. I've already seen them, of course, but we haven't really talked about them on stream yet because I don't think I've streamed since they announced the new characters. Nice. So you went to exactly soft pity, which is great. You never want to go beyond soft pity. So getting 5-star at 75, that's great. And then you won the 50-50. Hey man, can't ask for more than that, right? At that point, you're asking to get to hit like a 0.01% chance. That's a rough one. So I'm glad you got Fugue. She is amazing. She is great for Firefly. She is great for any break team that you might have if you use Boot Hill or Rappa. And obviously, she's a fantastic character, one of the best in the game. So, really, really great that you got her, JD. I'm happy for you. Happy for you, man. Let's do that actually. Let's go ahead and get started. But yeah, so basically what I was saying, next time you guys see me will be when the live stream happens. We might even try to do it live because you guys know that the live stream is very early in the morning for me. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning. So how do you know when it is soft or hard pity? So it depends, JD. Not all gacha games do soft pity or hard pity, but most of them have some type of pity system. But for Honkai Star Rail and all of the other main kind of modern Hoyoverse games, so think Genshin Impact, right? And Zenless Zone Zero, Genshin, Star Rail, Zenless, they all have a hard pity. Hard pity is 90 pools. So if you get to 90 pools and you haven't pulled a 5-star yet, you are guaranteed to get a 5-star character on your 90th pool. Now, that way it works is that there is a ramp up. So basically, starting at pool 75, your chances of getting a 5-star are significantly higher. So as soon as you hit 75, or I think it might be 76, one of the two, your 5-star chance goes from like 0.01% to like, I think it's like a 20% chance. Like you've got a massive high chance to get it. And every pool that you do after, it gets higher and higher. So it goes from like 20% to like 25%. Then the next pool you do, 25% to 30%, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, until eventually you get to that 90th pool. If you ever hit hard pity, like if you ever hit 90 pity, you got absolutely hoed. Because even before you get to hard pity, the chances that you get a 5-star at like pools 80 to 90, those are extremely high. So if you ever hit 90, that is about as unlucky as pooling a 5-star. So that's the kind of explanation. I hope I explained that well. If I didn't, my bad. You could probably search it up. But yeah, I'm glad you got Fugue, man. I'm glad you got Fugue because I got super lucky on Fugue when I summoned for her, and I didn't intend to get Fugue, and I am very happy that I got Fugue when I did. In fact, summoning for Fugue, I believe, was one of the first streams that I ever did, if I remember correctly. JD, I see below 75 has a name Chew. Yeah, well, not really. If you pull a character below 75, you basically just straight up pull the character full odds, the 0.01% chance. I think it's 0.01% chance, but it's a very low chance. Like if pulling a character below 75 is just, you got super lucky. I personally call it full odds, just like, hey, I pull the character full odds. but there's no definitive name for like soft pity or hard pity. Those have like definitive terms that are generally agreed upon in the community. But yeah, let me get a drink of water really quick, clear my throat. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch to the Honkai style rail overlay. And let's react to the new characters. You can see my stream analytics right there. Well, actually, I don't know if we can actually, let's hold on. Honkai Star Rail 4.0 or no, 4.0 characters. Yeah, here we go. Or is this just going to be Yaguan and Sparksy? Yeah, no, we want everything. Here we go. This might be better. Let's react to the new characters, man. So this is the first one that's coming. Yao Guang. She is, I think, my favorite of the new characters. I love her design, man. The fucking peacock theme, the dress, the silver hair. Oh my god, this is such a good design. JD, thanks for the explanation. I only need Ling Sha for the Firefly team, but it will be for next time. Well, actually, JD, the best Firefly team right now is running Sustainless. So if you're willing to have your Trailblazer on Harmony, you run Firefly, Dahlia, Fugue, Trailblazer. That's the best team. Don't run any sustain. And currently, that team supposedly is able to clear, depending on your Eidolons, anywhere from 1 to 2 cycles in MOC. And that's more than enough. If you can clear in 2 cycles with that team in MOC, you probably don't need a healer. Maybe one of your characters might die, but as long as you have good stats, I don't think they will. But always nice to have Ling Sha, right? But you don't necessarily need her. You could also run Gallagher. Gallagher is pretty solid for Firefly as well. You could run Gallagher, Firefly, Dahlia, and Tingyun or Tingyun Fugue. You could run that as well. But keep pulling for Ling Sha. If you want Ling Sha, go for her, man. Don't let me stop you. Don't let me stop you whatsoever. I also wasn't gonna pull for Ling Sha. Then I pulled for her, and I'm very happy I did so. But yeah, Yao Guang I think is awesome. I'm excited to see more of her. We already got a little bit of her in the story, right? She was there when we were talking with Fei Xiao and Jing Yuan in 3.7. So that was really cool. Her voice sounds awesome. She's a physical elation. She's supposedly an elation support, so that is really exciting. But yeah, this is probably going to be a summon for me. Yao Guang, super excited for her. Sparksy is an incredible design that just unfortunately isn't for me. I've said this before. I've never been a huge fan of Sparkle. And Sparksy is a much better design than Sparkle, in my opinion. I love Sparksy's design, but Sparkle's character never hit for me. We'll see what happens at 4.0. Maybe that opinion changes. But the plan currently for me personally is to skip Sparksy. I think she's an incredible design, and I'm excited to see what Sparkle does in the story going forward. But yeah, this is going to be a skip. Yao Guang is one of the generals, right? Yeah, she's one of the Arbiter generals of the Xianzhou. One of the 6, right? There's 6 of them. I always forget. But yeah, she's one of the 6. Right now we know of Fei Xiao, Jing Yan, Yao Guang, and I forget the other because the other isn't playable. Hold on. Arbiter generals. 7, not 6. Okay. Huayan. Huayan. So that we know Huayan, Fei Xiao, Yao Guang, Jing Yan. And then obviously we've got okay, no, it's 6 Arbiter generals, and then there's the Marshal Hua, but she's technically also kind of an Arbiter general, I guess. So, but yeah, Sparksy is a skip for me. Blade, look at this motherfucker, eh? Holy shit! They're like, what if we took Blade and we made him even edgier? And like everyone in the meeting room just nodded. I mean, he looks awesome, right? The red the red kind of matching his eyes. Like his eyes are a bit different than what his eyes are currently. His hair even has like a different shade of black. There's not as much green vibes to it as much anymore. And the bandages across his waist and his chest. I mean, this is a handsome motherfucker right here. He is a hot man. Look, man, I'm straight, but I will acknowledge when a man is attractive. JD, on your end, it's a bit more than that, isn't it? But yeah, man, this is a cool design. I mean, I love this design. I'm on the fence whether or not I want to summon. I will see. At the moment, it depends, I think, on my Jade currency. Like if we get to Yao Guang and I have to put everything into Yao Guang and I have no Jades, I think I'm gonna skip Blade. But if I have a ton of Jades, we might go for Blade. So we'll see. Evanesia. This is the big one, right? This is like the yeah, JD. I know. I remember. Okay, you agree? All right, cool. It looks like I've got good taste. It looks like I got good taste. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to have you in my corner with this. But yeah, Blade is an attractive man. He was always attractive. I just think this new form of his is Evanesia, or however her name will be pronounced in the future. This is the hype character, right? Like this is the character everyone is looking forward to. This is like the Phynon, the Cyrene, right? Because this is Yay. This is Yay. This is the Yay XP from Impact the Third, and obviously Genshin has Yay Miko, but originally Yay Sakura from Impact the Third. Like this is her XP in Star Rail. Yep, and she's gonna be getting a lot of focus. She's probably gonna be the main character of Plan Arcadia, right? In the same way that Firefly was for Penacony, that Phynon was for the first half of Amphorius, and Cyrene was for the second half of Amphorius, right? She's gonna be the main focus character for Plan Arcadia. Her design is awesome. I mean, the pink with the sword and the robes. I mean, they just really popped off with design. Barring some very, very strange, catastrophic, like mishandling of her character in the story, this is probably a must summon for all of us. She's gonna have some insane animations. Her animations are gonna be ridiculously amazing. Nihilux is my like sleeper pick. Man, do I love this character. I've spoken about this before on stream. I have been an amateur creative writer for a while now. I want to say going back to my college days, and I'm 27 years old, so that'll give you kind of a general idea of how long I've been amateur writing. So I am partial to other characters that are also writers, and Nihilux seems to be, given her design here with the ink pen, she seems to be a writer of some kind. Maybe she's a poet, maybe she's a writer, who knows? Maybe she's a reporter, but she's got that kind of aesthetic to her. Super cool, black and white, probably going to be Nihility. So yeah, really cool character design. This is probably a must summon for me. And then the Silver Wolf SP, I love the hair, and the design doesn't look that different. But I think once we get the character model, once we actually see her in game, it's gonna be a bit different. It's definitely gonna be a bit more unique. If I can summon for this, I'm going for her. I think Silver Wolf behind Yao Guang is my second favorite of the characters they showed. Yeah, she's really cool. So, but yeah, that's my opinion of the characters. JD, I think Evanesia is the EA of HSR. Indeed. I'm waiting to see if they bring up a Teresa or Colin XP. Bro, Teresa, I think, could be very real. Colin, I don't know if they would do Colin, but they would definitely do Kiana. And if they're going to do Kiana, that's probably going to be at the very end of Star Rail. You know what I'm saying? Kiana, we don't even have the Kiana XP in Genshin yet. That'll tell you. Unless you believe that Asmodee is the Kiana XP. So I feel old now. I'm 34. Bro, JD, you're good, man. In my opinion, I don't think I'm going to start feeling old until I'm like 48. Once I'm like close to 50, that's when I think I'm going to start feeling old. Now, my parents have told me that once you hit like 32, that's when your knees really start to give in, which I'm concerned about because my knees aren't exactly that great right now. Right now, like to this day. So maybe I got to start hitting the gym, build some muscle before 32. But hey, JD, you're young, man. I'm young. We're all young at heart. That's what matters. Or maybe a Durandal or Rita XP, bro. I would kill for good Durandal and Rita XPs. We don't have them. We don't have a Durandal XP in Genshin, I don't think. We don't have a Rita XP in Genshin either. So I would love for Durandal and Rita XPs in Star Rail. Please. Please give them to me. But yeah. All right, let's go ahead. We talked about the new characters. Very cool. Let's go ahead, bring up the tier lists, and we're gonna get started. We're actually gonna go in order of. Okay, let me actually bring it up first. So we're actually gonna. Ooh, shit, my ad block isn't working. Hey yo, see you later, and you as well. Okay, there we go. So we're actually going to go in order of the way they're released for each character. So before they started integrating the animated shorts into the main story, and they were just releasing the animated shorts before the release of a character, the way they usually released trailers was in this order. They would release the Myriad Celestia first, if the character had a Myriad Celestia. After the Myriad Celestia, they would release the animated short, if the character had an animated short. And then last but not least, they would release the character demo trailer last. Every character gets a character demo trailer, so they would release those last because that's right before the character comes out into the game. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do Myriad Celestia, then we're going to do the animated shorts, and then we're going to do the character trailers. So that's the order we're going to go in. These I've got all the character trailers except for, I believe, this is the best list that I could find. Dahlia isn't here, unfortunately. Don't worry, I will point out where Dahlia is on the tier list once we get to it. So, but yeah, all the other trailers. This is all the Myriad Celestials we've had up until now, and these are all of the animated shorts we've had up until now. The only trailer that we're missing is Constance's trailer. I will make sure to tell you guys where I am putting Constance at the very end. So, but yeah. So, like I said, we're not going to react to anything unless I need it. I have a YouTube video pulled up. I was watching the Sparkle Myriad Celestia before we got started because this was the only Myriad Celestia where I was like, okay, what happened? Then I kind of got into it. I was like skipping through and I was like, oh yeah, I remember what happens here. So, for the most part, I think I remember most of them. So, but let's create some better tier names because I don't like SABC. So we're gonna call this. What do we want to call the top tier? I don't want to use peak fiction because I think that's also generic. Let's call it mind. Well, no, if I call it mind fuckery, that's going to annoy the YouTube algorithm. Not like I care about views anyway. Also, I just realized I closed Twitch chat. JD 5 stars. Let's go. Let's build off of that. 5-star lore. Mind blown. There we go. This is going to be 4-star world. 4-star Star Rail Hall of Fame. 3-star. 3-star. Pretty okay. Pretty okay. You know what? We're gonna settle with that. And then I don't think any of the Myriad Celestias are ever gonna be like below what would be a C tier or like a B tier. So I think this is fine, nah? Yeah, let's go with this. Okay, so that means we're gonna delete. Actually, let's do a really bad tier. We don't need a D tier. We can delete that. We'll call this meh. Okay, because there's no 3-star, there's no 2-star, the shit in the game, right? You've got 5-star characters and 4-star characters. Then you've got 3-star weapons, or light cones, but there's nothing below that. So, also, mind blown is not a word. Oh, it's like 2 words. There we go. That's better. So we're gonna go in order. We're gonna start from the very first one that was released chronologically. So that's the Myriad Celestia, where I think the exact name is the Chapella Rebellion. This was the very first Myriad Celestia, and they fucking popped with this one. This is an instant S tier. God damn, the fucking aesthetic of the colors. I mean, it's Kafka, right? This is a Stellaron Hunter Myriad Celestia. How can you not put this at the very top? This was the very first one we got, and they popped off. The first look at Sam, right, JD? The first look at Sam. We got to see Sam's like reveal. Like, it was basically the reveal of the character. And we got to see Kafka, Blade, and Silverwolf for the first time in different outfits. The music, the OST fucking popped off. Like, we got more of like the techno kind of like orchestral OST with Kafka. The like the scene at the beginning with Kafka kind of like being held in a court of trial. Why is my fucking ad block not working? Go away. But yeah, just peak fiction. One thing a lot of people forget about this trailer is at the very beginning when Kafka is being interrogated by like by the Chapella Brotherhood, she's actually already in control. Because if you watch the trailer back, she releases her hold, her spirit whisper, on the Brotherhood at the very end, once before Sam comes in to destroy it. So Kafka's already in control from before even the trailer starts. It's pretty fun. So like, this is another, I think, instant S tier. I mean, this was the first like overarching kind of like Myriad Celestia that we got about the entire Star Rail universe, right? This was like Black Swan, our first look at Black Swan and her narration of all of the eons, right? And just a ton of lore, a ton of world building. The visuals again are super impressive. So yeah, this one also goes into S tier. Then we kind of get the Xianzhou here, kind of like talking about like the Arbiter Generals and the general structure of the the alliance, right? We come down a little. I don't think this is quite an S tier. I think it's interesting, right? You get to learn about some Xianzhou lore, and this did come out around the same time that the game launched. Not quite. It was like this might have come out with Jing Yuan's release, or maybe not. I'm not sure, but it's pretty interesting. But I don't think it's anything special. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put this in kind of like the 3-star tier. That's not saying it's not good. Actually, do I put this? No, this one has like Hall of Fame. Like, I think you could go through Star Rail not having watched this trailer, and I think you're pretty okay. It doesn't help that the Xianzhou story is the weakest out of all the stories so far, right? You've got Belobog, you've got the Xianzhou, you've got Penacony, and you've got Amphorius, right? Out of those 4 like planets like that we've been to, the Xianzhou is by far the weakest from a storytelling perspective. So it doesn't help that. So we're going to put that there. That said, we have another Xianzhou. We've got a couple of Xianzhou Myriad Celestias here that really do hit. So the next one is about the Vidyadhara with like Don Hung and Bybiter Lune's release, where we really get to learn about the lore behind the elders of the Vidyadhara. You get the official name reveal for each of the major Vidyadhara elders that are kind of functioning within the Xianzhou Alliance, and the art style here is beautiful. Making it related to Don Hung / Don Feng is also really cool. And for me, the Vidyadhara are a much more compelling narrative than the Xianzhou Arbiter Generals, at least at first. I think now the Arbiter Generals are probably more compelling than the Vidyadhara. But back then, 1.0, personally, I was more excited about the Vidyadhara than I was the Arbiter General. So for me, I do think this is gonna be like bottom of this tier. Oh shit, did we lose OBS? Did we lose OBS? Let me check. Let me check. Let me check stream. I think we lost. Hello. Hello. Are we back? Are we back, JD? Are you with me, my friend? Are you I think we're back. So JD might have left us. We disconnected from OBS for a second there, unfortunately. But we're back. We were able to reconnect, which was really nice because I hate kind of starting stream over again. Let's go ahead and go back to our tier list. JD, if you're still with me, my friend, hope you're still there. But yeah, I think we lost OBS for a second there, which is unfortunate. But we're able to reconnect, so really nice. But yeah, what I was saying basically was I love the Don Hung Imbiber Lune Videodora Myriad Celestia. I think it's really strong. I don't think it's one of the best. I think it's like towards the bottom end of this tier right here. But I think it still deserves to be in that tier. So um, another fantastic Xianzhou Myriad Celestia is the Jing Liu Myriad Celestia. So I talked about in the last stream that we did how I was warming up to Jing Liu as a character. When Jing Liu was first kind of like revealed before like, you know, because they did the animated short with Jing Yuan and Jing Liu. That was before the game released, I believe, or maybe it was with Jing Yuan's release. I don't quite remember. But basically, the first time I got to see Jing Liu, I was like, this is going to be one of my favorite characters in the entire game. She is a must summon. And then she released, and I like came back to Star Rail after I kind of took a break for a bit, and I was like, she's not that interesting to me. I love her voice actor. I love her design, but her role in the story I felt was pretty weak, and it did feel a bit melodramatic. But with time, I've kind of warmed up to the story, to her role in the story back in 1.0, or 1.x. JD, the stream went down, but I'm back. Yeah, JD, the stream did go down. Kind of like took a little bit of time to make sure everything was okay, but we were able to reconnect, so that's great. Usually when OBS disconnects, you don't reconnect, so you have to start over. And I really wasn't feeling starting over, so good that the stream reconnected. I was checking Twitch and YouTube. I think we're live on both, so we should be good. But please let me know. Anyone watching on YouTube, anyone watching on Twitch, let me know if there's anything that's wrong. We should be good. But yeah, JD, I was just talking through the Xianzhou Myriad Celestias here. This one I think is good. I just don't think it's kind of like all-time great. I think the Don Hung Videodora Myriad Celestia is really aesthetically pleasing, and I was much more interested in the Videodora back during 1.x. So I'm going to put this a bit higher. Jing Liu's goes here as well, but this is one of the better ones, man. I love this Myriad Celestia. This was like in 1.x, I think, my favorite part of Jing Liu. Nowadays, right, I'm much more excited than Jing Liu than I was before, and I'm excited for her to get more story attention. But this Myriad Celestia, I think, was my favorite like aspect of Jing Liu back during the early days of Star Rail. So yeah, great Myriad Celestia. So this is the IPC Myriad Celestia. Yeah, I don't. This one is interesting. I think it also goes in this tier. Might even go in this tier. I think it's interesting, right? It's like more of a narration. It kind of like it's very robotic, but I think that's the point, right? It's supposed to make you uncomfortable. It's supposed to remind you of like modern day business practices and corporations, right? It's supposed to kind of really kind of settle in that this is like a very like this is like very like anti what we've played so far of Star Rail. Like not very fantastical, not very it's not like Bellabog, it's not like the Xianzhou. The IPC is very different. So I think it does what it's supposed to do. That said, it ain't, breaking your mind. It's not really doing anything super interesting. Just nice, solid narration, introducing an aspect of Star Rail that we hadn't had a lot of exposure to yet. So we're going to put it in this tier. I might move it down to meh later, but we're going to keep it here for now. The Huahua Myriad Celestia. This one was really cool because I think you get a lot of insight into Huahua's character. Not necessarily branded new insight if you had played the event, but still it introduces her character, and for a character that isn't part of the main story, right? It's nice to have this. I was actually really surprised. Like I'm still surprised that a character like Huahua got this Myriad Celestia. And obviously, Huahua's story with Tail, the Heliobus. To me, I thought it was compelling. I think her character is pretty solid. Um, I like Huahua's a lot, but for this list, it's meh. Also, hello, Sage. Hello, my friend. Good to see you, Sage. It's great to be back. Um, but yeah, I don't necessarily think it compares to a lot of like if you were to ask me like is Huahua's Myriad Celestia, despite it doing a lot for a character, as interesting as these four? The answer is no. It just isn't. And it isn't as interesting as the Arbiter General one either. Or it doesn't expand the lore the way the IPC one does. That said, I do value Huahua's character. I think it's pretty solid. I've always said I think she's underrated. So I'm gonna keep her in this tier potentially, and I might, depending on how the rest of the tier list goes, I might move these two down. But for now, I'll keep them in here. Huahua's story also served to explain what Fantilia's was. So, yeah, there's like a brief mention of it. Sage, Ron Maze is quite insane. Yeah, so we're back to like the really nice Myriad Celestias. Ron Maze is pretty insane. The the trailer is almost psychedelic in a way. It really goes to show Ron May's like almost obsession with her area of study, but in a very artistic way. And it's like flashy. Things move pretty quickly here. What I really like about her trailer is like if I personally didn't watch the trailer before I played her story, like the what's it called? Like it's like the Topaz story. It's like not necessarily one of the like main story quests, but Suki, good to see you, my friend. Ma'am, indeed. How you doing, Suki? How you doing, Sage? Good to see you guys come in. We're doing a ranking of all the Star Rail trailers. We're starting with the Myriad Celestias. Um, Ron Maze is just a lot of setup for her to become a future antagonist weekly. Sage, either that or a lot of setup for something she created to become a future antagonist. Playing Enfield. Yeah, Enfield is hype as fuck. Guess what Goldston is doing right now? Goldston is out there streaming Enfield. So if we finish stream before Goldston finishes stream, we might go raid him. We'll see. But yeah, Enfield looks awesome. It looks really cool. I'm trying to resist, man, as much as possible. Because I've got four gotchas I'm playing at the moment. I'm playing Star Rail, of course. I'm playing Zenless, of course. But I also play Epic 7, if you guys know what Epic 7 is. And I also started playing very recently Nike, Goddess of Victory, which has been very enjoyable. Sage, will she still be an antagonist, Ghoul? Indeed. Indeed. I think most of us think Ron May is going to do some shit later down the line that's going to be quite alarming. But yeah, her Myriad Celestia is fantastic. I'm going to put it in the 4-star tier. I think it's really solid. I think it expands on lore. It expands on her character, and her character was already super interesting. Why isn't my ad block working again? Go away. Block element. See you later. Honestly, I might even put it ahead of the Videotero one. I think I like it more. I am going to put it ahead of the Videotero one. Suki Penguin X-Face, indeed. JD, I'm playing 3 Star Rail Genshin and Honkai Impact a third. Hey, the Hoyoverse trifecta. You're just missing Zenless Zone 0 for the quadruple. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the Xanders helped her attain what she wanted. That'd be cool. I'd be down for Xander to kind of like intervene with Ron May's character arc. I know I've talked about Xander not really I've talked about Xander / Lygus, me not necessarily wanting them to have a major role in the story going forward, but that would be really cool. Like the Skrullum thing and the Ron May thing, that's cool. I'd be down for that. Suki, I mean Lygus. Remember that Lygus gave Skrullum a failsafe for Noose. Lygus have beef with Noose, so yeah. No, yeah, the Skrullum Lygus connection is gonna be something that I think the future of Star Rail is gonna focus on heavily, and it's gonna be super interesting. So then we've got our first Penacony Myriad Celestia. With Penacony is when they really started honing their craft with the Myriad Celestias, right? I think we can all agree. Before Penacony, the Myriad Celestias were mostly like extra trailers, like add-ons. Like they were used sparingly to expand the story of Star Rail ever so slightly. Whereas during Penacony and after Penacony, they really found what they wanted to do with the Myriad Celestias. This first one was our very first introduction to Constance. It's the Everflame Mansion with Duke Inferno, kind of setting up this faction that just later gets no-diffed by Akron. Everyone dies except Constance. So, but the trailer was dope, right? It was super hype. Everyone was already hyped because of the Penacony stuff. So yeah, this was a really dope trailer. I think it's gonna be in the second. Is it the second tier trailer? Yeah, it's in the second tier. Like in hindsight, I don't think this trailer is that hype, you know. But man, like remember watching this around the time Penacony was coming out? This shit was hype as fuck. We all thought all these characters were gonna be a part of Penacony. Like Duke Inferno was gonna be like something that was gonna be like he was gonna be important in Penacony. Like we were all like waiting to see what was gonna happen with this brand new faction. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put it behind the Videodara one because the Videodara one has more weight to it still today, whereas this one is really only relevant because of Constance. But I think it's a good Myriad Celestia, in my opinion. I think it was hype. A lot of characters were shown for the very first time, and they had cool designs, and I think it was decent. We might move this down to like the top of the 3-star tier later, but I think for now it goes here. When you talk about visually impressive Myriad Celestias, it's hard to get better than this one right here. The way they had Black Swan moving to and from each aspect of Penacony, transforming the art style as she became different objects and as the perspective changed, man, it is beautiful. It is so cool. The way they showed kind of her journey through Penacony. Also, what a way to introduce like more aspects of Black Swan's character, right? Like showing how she has these powers and being able to use them. So, but Sage, I think you're describing it here. Personally, Black Swans is hard for me. Like it could be pretty okay for others and Hall of Fame for the other half. Exactly. As impressive as Black Swan's Myriad Celestia is, it does little for the story or her character, right? Like it's very visually impressive and it really does build up the hype for Penacony. But I do think it's lacking in story/narrative importance. You get a little bit at the end there with the tarot cards, right? She kind of shows the major players of Penacony. Like she shows, I believe, like Akron or Firefly or Robin. Like she shows like those and the tarot cards in her hand. I think visually it's impressive enough though to where I want to put it here, but I don't know if I can necessarily put it above these actually lore important Myriad Celestias, despite how visually impressive it is. So we're gonna keep it here. I don't feel like I would put it in this tier just because I had such a great time watching it. So the Sparkle one. The Sparkle one is solid, isn't it? This was before I began stream. I was actually kind of like reviewing any trailers that I didn't quite remember that well. This Sparkle one was one of them. But I got like a minute in. I was like, oh yeah, this is like the one where she's like, my mask. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you get to this part you get to this part and you're just like, what the fuck is going on? So yeah, and a big part of the Myriad Celestia, right, was that this was, bro, my ad block refuses to work. I'm going to try this one more time. And if it comes back, we're just going to leave it. The Sparkle one made me scared. She's such a character. Like, yeah, like all of Sparkle's trailers are really solid. And I just feel like it establishes her character. then the character trailer just takes it to another level, right? So I think it's pretty solid. I think I'm gonna put this one ahead of the Everflame Mansion because I think this has more staying power. And you guys already know this. I'm not the biggest fan of Sparkle. Just am not. I'm sorry. Like she's one of the few Star Rail characters that didn't quite hit for me. But I acknowledge how well handled she's been so far. So I think I'm gonna put it above the Everflame one because Everflame doesn't have a lot of staying power. And the Black Swan one because, like I said, Black Swan one doesn't have too much character or narrative weight to it. But yeah, Sparksy's coming out, guys, and hopefully, she gets the proper character focus that she needs. By the way, Sage, Suki, if you guys want to go back and watch the VOD over, me and JD did kind of go through towards the beginning of the stream, and we did kind of like react to and like discuss the new characters that they showed for 4.x. So if you guys kind of want to see like a really brief, like my brief opinion on the characters, Yao Guang, Blade SP, Wolf SP, Nihilux, Evanesia, and Sparksy. We missed Ashvale, I think. We didn't talk about Ashvale, right, JD? Ashvale is cool. But if you guys want to kind of go back and watch the VOD over to kind of get my opinion on that, feel free to do so. Don't have to, obviously. Never feel like you have to. Next S tier, right? Can we talk? I mean, this has to be one of the top. This is going to be top 5, right? Oh, man. Acheron's Myriad Celestia is the turning point for the Myriad Celestias, isn't it? When Acheron's Myriad Celestia came out, I was floored. The narration, the visuals, the fucking voice acting, oh, the story, the lore, and the character focus. God, everything. Chef's kiss. It was so good. Let me ask you guys something. Is it not her best trailer? Like, I think her Myriad Celestia is the best trailer. I like it more than the animated short and her character demo. Like, I just do. It's just so good. Oh my god. It's seeing the way Acheron kind of became the emanator of nihility and the Honkai Impact the Third references. Absolutely. Oh my god. What a perfect Myriad Celestia trailer. This is Acheron's Myriad Celestia is what Myriad Celestia trailers are supposed to be. Kind of like this mystical, mysterious tone to it, revealing lore, kind of hinting at future developments, showing small but very important pieces of backstory. Yeah, fantastic stuff. Acheron does a good setup for humans wanting to fight back against the Eons. Precisely. That's another big reason why the Myriad Celestia was so important. So yeah, I think personally, once they did Acheron's Myriad Celestia, they're like, oh, this is how we do these trailers. Okay. And then every single Myriad Celestia after that has been really solid. Robin's Myriad Celestia is also super strong. Kind of like seeing her journey as a like a small child, kind of seeing the metaphor visual perspective of how her beliefs came to be. And then obviously throughout the story of Penacony, you contrast that with Sundays, right? It's not necessarily part of the Myriad Celestia, but you can kind of see the Myriad Celestia setting it up, right? And I remember watching it and just feeling like I was relaxed but still intrigued by it. I don't think it's doing anything overly special. It's not blowing your mind. It's not, revealing some omega piece of lore, but I think it's solid characterization, solid backstory, solid visuals. I think it's solid all around. That said, I do think it's going to be in the second tier, behind Sparkles or ahead of Sparkles. You know what? This is my tier list. It's ahead of Sparkles. I mean, Fireflies is so good, isn't it? And this is my favorite character in the game, so there's going to be a little bit of bias here. But getting to see insight into Glamoth, but not the way we expected it, right? Like, I think a lot of us expected, like, once we got any sort of lore reveal or visual, like, representation of Glamoth, it was going to be war. It was going to be battle. It was going to be violent. But this was nice, slow, kind of like it was setting. It was like, what's the term called? it was kind of betraying our expectations of what Glamoth was. And I think it did a good job at kind of showing how Glamoth wasn't necessarily just defined by its war, defined by the Iron Legion, you know? These clones that they were creating, those were real humans that yearned for something more. Seeing Firefly be a part of that, kind of like contrasting the other members of but showing that there were still some similarities. They kind of wished, like, you know, there was a future beyond the war with the Swarm. Then you got interesting stuff like you've got interesting stuff like the fact that you had this one clone that didn't reveal herself until the end, so a lot of people started speculating if she might return in the story. You've got the stuff of like Firefly, small details about Firefly that showed her like length of tenure within the army. It's a solid trailer. I don't think it's quite S tier, right? I mean, these are just S tier, right? These are like the best of the best. But I do think it's really high. I am going to put it at the very top of the Hall of Fame tier. I think there might be other trailers in this tier that do more for the overall Star Rail story. But I do think this was fantastic, like backstory into Glamoth that we weren't expecting, and fantastic like characterization for Firefly. So it's okay. The animated short did so much more. The animated short did a lot, but I think the animated short was so good for Firefly in part because of this Myriad Celestia, right? We got to see one side of Glamoth, the one side that we didn't expect to get, and then the animated short blew us away with the side that we expected to get. So JD, seeing the destruction of Glamoth and that freaking OST was beautiful. The Firefly OSTs are always super good. So, but yeah, that wasn't the Myriad Celestia. Myriad was her talking with the other members. So this is the Jade one. Well, not necessarily the Jade one. This was the one with all the stone hearts, right? The one where the Ventrine is essentially being judged, and all the stone hearts are basically voting whether or not to remove him from being a Stoneheart. Like, do we give him another chance? The main reason being that he broke his cornerstone during Penacony on purpose. Like, he did so willingly. And they go back and forth. Like, Topaz votes in favor to keep him a Stoneheart. And then you get what's his name? It's the one with the white hair, the tan skin. I forget his name. Someone remind me in chat what his name is, but then he votes against Aventrine. Then you go back to Jade and she votes in favor of Aventrine. Then you go to like, I think you go to Pearl set next, and like goes back and forth. You get Obsidian there, and it revealed a lot of like the base designs for the Stonehearts. And yeah, at the very end you get Opal, which is obviously second in command of the Stonehearts. So it's a big lore drop for Sigilite. Thank you, Sage. Thank you very much. So yeah, it's a big lore drop, right? You get a lot of Stoneheart reveals. You get set up for like future events with the IPC, seeing Topaz and Jade and Aventrine in a different light. I agree, Sage. This is an easy S tier. I don't think it's quite above the 3 that we had here, but it is still really important. It was hype. And I think it is definitely a Myriad Celestia that kind of sets it apart from the rest. So let me go back and catch up the chat. Seeing the Swarm tear off limbs instantly was quite a spectacle. Oh yeah, the animated short is going to rank highly. Don't worry. The only one that wasn't there was Diamond. Yeah, Diamond wasn't there because he's like the head honcho. Diamond is an emanator, straight up. Like, not like a pseudo emanator, not like a, oh, is he maybe an emanator or not? Like, Diamond is an emanator. Period, point blank. So yeah, he is a big hype train. So the Yunli one is good. I think we're gonna put it in the 3-star one, right? It sets up the lore of like the second Xianzhou story with her grandfather, or was it ancestor? I think it's grandfather, yeah. But like the way, you know, her grandfather had an impact, and with the weapons that he had forged, right? And obviously there's a bit of connection with Hule there, and the connection with potentially who Blade was before he became Blade. But I do think Yoon Lee isn't exactly the best character, or well, she's a solid character, right? She gets really good characterization. But yeah, well said, Sage. It's like Hua Hua's. She's a good character like Hua Hua. She gets good characterization in the trailer here, and there's some interesting aspects to it, like the sword having real consciousness, like the Heliobus and Hua Hua's. It's just the characters themselves don't have the biggest scope in the story, straight up. So that said, me talking about this, I am gonna move this one here. I'm gonna move the Hua Hua one ahead as well. I think we're gonna do this. I like Hua Hua as a character more than I like Yunli as a character. I think this is better. I do think I like these trailers because of the characterization more than the very simple IPC trailer. So, Fei Xiao's, man. Who agrees with me that out of all the thumbnails for the Myriad Celestias, this is the best? Like, I'm not saying like the video, like the actual trailer itself, but look at this thumbnail, man. Like her glare, the fucking like energy coming from her eye, the red in the background and the shadows. God damn, man. What a thumbnail. Like the other great ones are like the Akron one, right? The Jing Liu has a good thumbnail as well. The Finan one. The Finan one was also really good. But yeah, Fei Xiao's delves a bit more into Xianzhou backstory and lore, right? You kind of get to see how cutthroat everything was. It's really cutthroat, right? More perspective into Hule and what's the faction of what's Hule's faction called? I always forget. The the Bosarin. Thank you, Borisin, not Bosarin. The Borisin. Yeah, everything was really surprising to me on how violent they decided to depict everything. And they really set up the Borisin. I agree, Sage. I think the Borisin were really great additions to the overall Xianzhou lore. And specifically, like I've said this many times before, I like the second Xianzhou story a lot. The one with Fei Xiao, Yun Li, and Yan Cheng. I think it's really good. I think Hule is a compelling antagonist. I think Fei Xiao is a really solid character. And I really think Yan Cheng and Yun Li are also really solid characters. This Myriad is ranking highly. I'm going to put it right next to Fireflies because I think it's more interesting than Fireflies, but I don't think it did as much for the character as, other Myriad Celestias did. But I do think it's really solid. I really enjoyed Fei Xiao's. And remember, this came out during the time of the where a lot of us were worried about the strike, right? Like this was like I think during a time period where like English dub was up in airs, right? And to get a trailer of this quality was also really really nice. So I think the second one was easily top tier HSR story content. Even the event was good. Agreed. The War Dance is one of the best events they've done in Star Rail. So Sundays. I mean, Sundays trailers are interesting, right? Because I as much as I love Sunday as a character, I feel like with his trailers, they didn't really know what direction to go in, and then they fully. I feel like during. Does anyone get the impression that while they were making Sunday's trailers, they weren't sure whether or not he was going to join the Astral Express yet or not? Because remember, like there were leaks and rumors that he was joining the Stellaron Hunters, not the Astral Express. That's the sense that I get from his trailers. Like a general like we don't know what we're quite doing with this character yet, but we still have plenty of character to explore, so let's do it. Let's go ahead, right? This one's on the more somber side. There's definitely a lot of like introspection to like what happened in Pendicone, kind of seeing his perspective from it as well. I think it's really solid. I do think it's gonna be in the middle tier here. I just don't think it's gonna be that high. I think it's gonna be right ahead of the Everflame Mansion one and behind the Sparkle one. And that's saying something. Sunday is my third favorite character in the game. Just don't think it was quite that impactful. We now know for the 6 Arbiter Generals, only Feng Hu and Zhuling left. Yep. And well, Marshal Hua, because, she's like technically one, but like not really. HSR luckily and sadly didn't get affected by the VA strikes until 3.0 started. Yep, indeed. But even before 3.0 started, like there was still like concern about what was happening. So, um, I have I am on the record that Fugue is just underrated in every way. I think she's an underrated character in this from a story perspective. She's underrated from a gameplay perspective. I think Fugue is really solid support. I think her trailers are underrated. I just everything about Fugue I think is underrated. I think her Myriad Celestia is fantastic. Kind of seeing her go through like the Xianzhou and kind of like reminiscing, kind of like almost like being nostalgic, but in a very painful way. It felt like it felt morose, but almost hopeful in a way, which is pretty much her character, right? Like a big part of what makes Fugue's character so compelling for me is the fact that, like, yeah, I'm in constant pain and I really am like depressed about everything that happened to me in my life, but I'm hopeful. I'm going to keep fighting. And to me, this trailer gave me that sense, right? So I think it's really solid. I'm going to put it reminds me of the Robin trailer in a way where everything is solid, but it's not necessarily like, groundbreaking. So I'm going to put it next to Robin here. Marshall Hua is going to be the Diamond of the Arbiters. Yep. Marshall Hua is going to be the Diamond of the Arbiters. Indeed. She is going to be a very hyped character when she comes out. If they are going to make Diamond playable, do you think they'll make Taravon playable as well, Leo? That's a good question. I think if I were the team, yeah. I would even go as far to say like even Oswaldo might be playable. Like these are big name characters like that they could easily like put out and like be hype and like sell a lot of money. So, but that said, if I'm running out of characters, like yeah, bring Taravon in. Let's give him a model. But there's still like what we've got, like from the Stonehearts, right? We still only have 3. We have Topaz, we have Jade, Aventurine. We still need Sujilite. We still need Pearl. We still need fucking Obsidian. We still need Opal. Like there's a lot of Stonehearts to get through, right? And obviously Diamond's gonna be playable. So like once we get to Diamond, are we at the end of the game? You know what I mean? So I think it depends on like how much has been playable up until that point. So who knows? The Herda. Hey, Herda. Yeah, this one's good, isn't it? This one's good. I mean, there's a very specific part of Herda's Myriad Celestia. We're gonna go to it. Because this was one of the ones that like I rewatched recently. There's a very specific part of Herda's Myriad Celestia that I really like. This one right here. Wait, hold on. Did I skip it? Did I go? Yeah. Fucking seeing this image when I first saw her trailer. Oh my god. Visually, it's one of the best Myriad Celestias, I think. And kind of seeing Herda kind of like go through her past by herself, introspect on that. And we definitely get a little bit more of like her philosophy, right? Her like beliefs and ideals. And like the why she like lives life the way she does. And I think what makes that Myriad Celestia so strong is we get to see that in practice and in 4 years after. Like Herda, like the way I think Liga said it, like one of Herda's biggest weaknesses is having a conscience. And that's what she says here in this trailer as well. Like I think she says like she wishes she didn't have a conscience, but she does. Like she can't ignore it. So yeah, I think it's really solid. I think where did I put it? It's gonna be high. I think it's like right up here with like the like better like character focused Myriad Celestias. I'm gonna put it ahead. Wait, do I put it at the top of this tier ahead of Fireflies? No. Also, no. I think right here, right here. I think I think I'm comfortable with this. It's always hype when a new 4-star character gets a 5-star SP. Oh, for sure. They better start making SPs a mainstay, which they are because we're getting a Blade SP and a Silverwolf SP. So, yeah, Tribby. Kind of like what I said with what did I say with Akron? I think Triby's Myriad Celestia is awesome. Mainly because it's like focused on Tribios, right? Her character trailer is like happy go lucky, like very heartwarming, like okay, yeah, like fun, right? But her Myriad Celestia is just like Amphorius lore bombs. Visually, it's pretty cool as well. You get to see Tribios for the first time, right? Like we had known about Tribios before her Myriad Celestia, but getting to actually see like the actual design for Tribios is really cool. And let's keep in mind, like Tribios is like rumored to actually be like the SP for Tribi. Like when we go back to Amphorius, right? When Amphorius ended in 3.7 and you got the animated short, we don't see Tribi. We see Tribios. So like Tribios is a really, I think, a key aspect of Amphorius, and getting to see this in the Myriad Celestia was really cool. That said, I don't think it has that much like key narrative importance, and it does expand on Tribi's character a lot, but not to the extent where I'm just like mind blown, right? I feel like it's underrated, but I think I'd put it ahead of, like, in the same vein as like Fugues and Sparkles. I think Sparkles is just a bit more interesting, so I'm gonna put it here ahead of Sundays. So, yeah. Now we're getting to some heavy hitters, aren't we? Yep, yep, yep. Who disagrees with this? Who disagrees with this one, right? Man. I mean, it's the fucking reveals for all of the Lord Ravagers. Like this was the Myriad Celestia of where Genshin released the designs for all of the for all of the Fatui Harbingers. Yeah, like the Lord Ravagers are here. Massive lore bombs. Finding like hype. Like holy shit, there was so much in this trailer. This is one of the hypest like trailer drops that they've ever done, I think. It is I think at the top of the S tier just for sheer hype alone, sheer lore bombs alone, just amazing trailer all around. Really set up the hype for 4.0 super well, right? Like at this point, we were all still wondering who's the Lord Ravager trapped in Amphorius? Is it Phynon? Is it Iron Tomb? Who the fuck knows? So yeah, just a ton of fun, just a great trailer all around. The Evernight one, the Evernight wait, actually, so I also the Evernight one that I released was one of the ones. Sorry guys, the Evernight one was one of the ones I went back and watched. Actually, it was like one of the few Amphorius trailers that I went back and watched. I had a question that I was hoping you guys could. Here we go. Could answer. When it says the remembrance chose blank, right here, were they talking about Cyrene? Like in retrospect? Like when we were like watching like this trailer initially, like obviously like we didn't quite know. You guys think they were the narration here was talking about Cyrene, or is this something else, like something in the larger like Star Rail narrative? Because when I was like watching this back, like even like the lines leading up to it, because like it says the future that belongs to you, and then is so blissful and pure, and yet the remembrance chose blank. To me, I think this. To me, I think this is actually beyond Amphorius. So, Evernights is probably a 3-star for me. Really, a 3-star. JD, I love Evernight's OST. JD, yes, I think so. The thing with Fully is that any child can be Fully, so if Cyrene was never Fully, only into Amphorius. So I think it's ambiguous for a reason. Yeah, I agree. If I had to choose, I think it's both. Like it's ambiguous. Like right, it's supposed to be like yeah, it is supposed to be Cyrene, but I think it also applies to like Evernight and March's character arc in the future. But I think it is leaning more towards Cyrene. Anyway, I think it's interesting. I don't Sage. I don't know if I would quite agree that it's 3-star. I don't think it's that amazing. I agree with that. But I think it's towards like the Black Swan one, like right over here. So we'll see. Do I put it ahead of Everflame or behind? I don't think it's as good as Sundays. I think ahead of Everflame. It was still pretty hype. And also the remembrance mysteries I think are really cool. I mean, this one was just fucking awesome, wasn't it? Oh god damn. Getting like getting the Golden Epic trailer again, but this time like complete, you know? Like let's go back and like let's look at the like final end shot of yeah, like getting to see like these portraits finally filled out was so cool, man. Like Don Hong and Evernight and Heiselins and Saradra finally like fully revealed. And the way it was shown in the story, just so good. And I've been on record that the Golden Epic trailer, the original, is one of the best trailers in the entire game overall. This trailer is essentially just that, right? Just with different narration and like more details. I don't think it's like reinventing the wheel. Like, well, that's not the word. I don't think it's like sliced of bread, right? But I do think it's S tier. I think it's S tier. I'm gonna put it ahead of the. Well, I think it's like towards the bottom of S tier because like this is just a basically a remade trailer, right? But it doesn't. It's still hype and it still introduces new shit, right? And most importantly, the reveal of her new form in game for the first time, right? I mean, yeah, I'm gonna put it at the head of the IPC one. I'm just for that alone, I'm gonna put it ahead of the IPC one. So, oh yeah, oh yeah, here we go. Oh man, I think this one is third for me. The fucking number one, like Stellar on Hunters, right? Always gonna be hype. But then like Firefly, starting with like Firefly in the healing pod was like a reveal it on in of itself. Like, is that what happened to her post Penacony? Then Silverwolf and like Kafka discussing, and then you start going through the what if scenarios. Holy shit, man! Like I remember we were all power scaling when this trailer dropped. Like Welt and Zephyro were fucking fighting each other. Like, excuse me? Like, god damn, dude. And like seeing like the fact that we could have like met up with like Selenova as well. And like the fucking like propagation lightning lord mech that Jing Liu had. Oh, this just like I know it wasn't like concrete, right? Like none of these things actually happened. These were all what ifs, but it was just insane to see all the other what ifs, man. Just insane. Let me catch up the chat here really quick. Sage, people think Evanesia will be a child to Lamau. I don't think you're talking about a child of Anos Rava, right, Sage? I don't think so. I think she's gonna be, I don't think it's just like, oh, you have pink hair, child of Anos Rava. No. I think she's gonna be something else. So rewritten also, it was really cool details. No, yeah, really cool. You were talking about the previous trailer, I think. Yeah, really, really cool to kind of see that trailer rewritten. It was amazing how they showed Elio's script. Agreed. I think it was nice to see how batshit insane the detouring of the script actually is, and we didn't even see the difference in the Cienjo pass that could have happened without their interference. Exactly. Just batshit insane. I mean, it wasn't necessarily lore drops. It wasn't necessarily like, anything like you like breaking the like Star Rail lore, but it was dope as fuck. It was hype. It was Stellar on Hunters. It was finality, and getting to see the cat, was also super cool. So, yeah, I think I would have it slightly ahead of the Kafka one, but not by much. And then finally, you've got the Myriad Celestia for Cyrene. This one was just nice. Like it was just like, oh, we're like feeling nostalgic. We're kind of getting perspective on like Cyrene's like kind of thoughts on Amphorius and how everything is leading up to the final battle, right? It was a calm before the storm. I don't think it's gonna be ranked that highly. Again, me, Cyrene, like I'm one of Cyrene's biggest fans on the entire internet. That said, it's not doing too much. I think I'm gonna put it like around here, like with the Tribios one. I think actually, yeah, let's put it right there. Let's put it slightly ahead of Sunday, but behind the Tribios one, because I think the Tribios one had a little bit more story importance. My favorite part of the Myriad Celeste trailer for Cyrene is this ending part. God, bro, I love this art here. But on top of this, to me, this single shot right here, I said this live on stream. I think this might be my favorite character art they've ever made in the game. God, it's gorgeous. I really like how Cyrene is in her like small form here, but she is very clearly drawn as an adult woman, right? Like the angle of her face, the kind of like sharpness of the angle of her nose and her eyes, right? Because we all forget because of how small she is. Cyrene in her kind of small form is an adult. She just is. Like she's not like super old, but she is an adult. So this is like kind of really showing that but like also like the rainbow colors on the side, the sharpness of the lines on her outfit, just the ethereal nature of it all. You know what? I'm bumping this up slightly higher. We're gonna go right here. Just for that alone. It's a 5-star for me because it made us trust Black Swan. Thank you, Black Swan. Very true. You're not talking about. I don't think you're talking about the Cyrene one, right? You were talking about the Exotail one. But indeed, thank you, Black Swan. Thank you for saving our asses. JD, Cyrene's character trailer is clearly a 5 stars. The use of Morse code is genius. Oh, trust me, her character trailer is going to be very high. Don't worry. You know what? We're going to do some readjusting because my OCD kind of sees that there's literally one trailer here that is like out. So that bothers me. Do I just drag this down? I don't know if I like that. Do I drag this? Oh. Where'd it go? Am I crazy? There it is. Do I drag this up? Does that look better? Actually, you know what we should do? Because I don't feel comfortable putting this in like pretty okay. We're gonna do another tier because this is my tier. Or actually, we're gonna put these down. There we go. This is gonna be a 3-star man. This is gonna be what do we want to call this? What do I want to call this? We're gonna call this good myriad. Good. How do I spell myriad before Acheron? Basically, like this was a myriad that we considered good before Acheron set the new standard. And here we're gonna go this. No, but that by definition, this is after Acheron, though. That's the thing. Oh, perfect. This. There we go. That's nice, isn't it? Okay, I like that better. I like that way better. Visually, that's better, and I think this is a more fair. This is a more fair kind of like approach to the whole thing. All right, I'm gonna download this, guys. Boom. There we go. All right, take screenshots. This is my list. I think the Finon Myriad Celestia is the best in the game. I just think the Lord Ravagers, the hype for 3.4, it was just otherworldly. And then Acheron set a new standard for Myriad Celestias. We have yet to get a character-focused Myriad Celestia as good as Acheron's. And then obviously you've got the first one, which was one of the best. More lore drops, more lore bombs. Already a good trailer. They just did it again. Lore bombs again. So Hollowed Sage, I think after playing the story of 3.7, it is also a 5-star for me. The Cyrene one? Or this one, the Exotail one. Because if you're talking about the Cyrene one, like, damn, you like Cyrene more than I do, Sage. Like, I love Cyrene's character, don't get me wrong. But this trailer, I think, was... Like, I just don't think the trailer is on the same level as these, right? These are, like, massive lore bombs. And then Acheron. So. Anywho, I'm pretty happy with this. Moving on. Now, this one's going to be fun. Because, honestly, I think you could legitimately say that these all deserve to be in a single tier. I'm just kidding. There's a couple of animated shorts here that obviously aren't quite on the same level. But I think we could legitimately have like 2 tiers here, which is like crazy to say. We're going to do 3 because I'm going to try my best to actually separate out like the actual like amazing animated shorts. But we're going to do 3. Or so let's do here. Let's do here 5-star. Um I'm I'm sobbing uncontrollably. Un Uncontrollably. I can't spell. Also, that annoys me. I'm subbing and I can't control it. Bro. There we go. This is gonna be 4.5 star. I'm I'm crying and I can control it. And this is gonna be 4-star. Emotions are wild but cool. Why is the font different here? You guys know what I'm saying? Is it because I copied it from up here? Really? Hold on. I want to put this in a notepad. Well, actually, you know what? Let's put it here. Because that kind of gets rid of any formatting as well. There we go. Wait, I did not know. If you copy text from a different tier, it copies the text highlight. That's crazy. So. Sage, I mean, I already know my fave Lamau, bro. Just Sage, you can't tell me that because now I'm pressured to get it right. What if I put your fave like in the bottom category? No, Sage, you can't put that pressure on me, Sage. You can't, my man. I can't spell either. My Latino brain is always on the way. Oh, you're Latino as well. I am also Latino. My parents are Mexican, but I was born in the States. So not sure what you call that. Maybe like Hispanic, I guess, in a way. I'm not sure. I'm not very culturally aware of my heritage, if you couldn't tell. So, but yeah, there's gonna be like a very clear tier of animated shorts. So actually, do we go in order? Do we go? Do we go in order? I feel like we go in order. Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's gonna be in one of these first 2 tiers. We'll do some reordering once all of the major shorts get placed. For now, I'm putting in the top tier. This could go anywhere from the top of this tier to the bottom of this tier, I think. Fucking the first one, gorgeous animation, fantastic characterizations for Jing Liu and Jing Yan, lore bombs with like, you know, the Xianzhou and what's the word? Mara, right? Mara struck, yeah. And the Mara, right? And yeah, setting up Yang Qin to kill Jing Yang in the future. Like, just, man, what the OST was incredible. Like, The Flash, that's what it's called. Please go listen to The Flash in isolation. It is gorgeous. I mean, just what a way to do your first animated short. Just so good. This is what makes it so painful, man. Like, there's so many of equal quality of these trailers, and I've got 3 tiers already. How am I supposed to put the level of these trailers into the same tier? I just can't. I just can't. Having said that, I like Imbiber de Lunes just slightly more. Fuck me. I mean, the fact that it's Dan Heng, right? One of the main characters in the entire game. Equally gorgeous animation, equally gorgeous OST, equally fantastic characterization for Dan Heng, and like a little bit of like characterization for the High Cloud Quintet as well at the very beginning and towards the end with like Dan Feng letting Dan Heng kind of move on. Like that was really good as well. Just fantastic all around. Yeah, Icar of the Two Dragons is great. JD, I'm from Colombia. Oh, very cool, JD. Very cool. Like I said, parents are from Mexico. Sage, trust me, the one I like you won't put at the bottom. That's good to know. That's good to know. It's probably one of the clear ones then. Setting up Yan Jing to kill Jing Yuan, indeed, and Jing Liu actually smiles a bit. I know. She smiles when Jing Yuan goes to kill her. Oh, fuck. It's so sad. I love it so much, bro. How can I rank any of these trailers even lower? Oh, fuck me. I'm gonna take a bit of a water break. Give me a second. All right, we're back. So, all right, here's what I'm talking about this bottom tier. So we do have a few animated shorts that aren't like character focused. They're not like true animated shorts. That sounds a bit mean. They're not like the like super long form animated shorts that focus on a specific character, right? This is one of these. This is like the Chinese New Year animated short. It's cool. You get to see a lot of this 1.x Xianzhou characters having a good time. And Biber de Lune, or not Biber de Lune, Don Hung has a little bit of kind of presence in this as well. But I don't think it's that high, right? I don't think it's necessarily doing all too much. Vice versa, this is the Sparkle. Sparkle kind of has an animated short, but like it's not really one of like the like dedicated animated shorts, I guess. So to be honest, it's probably bottom just because it's fun, but not much else. Don't tell me. Don't tell me that, Sage. Now I'm nervous. Now I'm nervous. I don't want to disappoint you, Sage, because I value your opinion. You're much smarter at than me when it comes to Star Rail. You know more than me. I have to live up to your expectations. The one before, oh damn. Okay, so it was the Chinese New Year one. Man, I'm sorry. I just don't think it's quite on the same level. But I think it just doesn't do too much. It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. There's another trailer later on though that does the same thing as this one, just better in my opinion. So I'm sorry to disappoint you, Sage. That said, if it'll make you feel better, I think the Sparkle one is going to be below it. So, but yeah, once again, so we're getting back to like the high pressure, high dedicated animated shorts. Again, I'm just gonna get these out of the way. We're gonna put them up at the top, then I will kind of try my best to decide which ones go at the very, very top and at the very bottom here. Not the very bottom, at the second tier here. Right? I mean, this one just again, gorgeous animation. Kind of a change in art style, right? From the first half to the second half. The first half is like this like Yuri, like bait, but wonderfully like beautiful, like animated like dance between Akron and Black Swan. A little bit of like lore teases here and there as the tension builds. And then it eventually culminates into this point where it changes on a dime, and expectations shatter, and all of a sudden Akron is the one in control. Art style changes, goes black and white, becomes a different type of dance, and the dance eventually kind of has this like metaphorical imagery with like hunting and stuff, predator versus prey, kind of to illustrate the true dynamic relationship that Black Swan and Akron are going to have. Then you kind of step away from it, and like Black Swan kind of hints at who Akron truly is, right? Fantastic. I mean, just gorgeously animated, and just again, what more can you say? So this is actually, I think, kind of like a second like animated short that Akron had. This is not Robin. This is wait, was this Robin? No, this was Robin, right? Yeah, this was Robin. Again, it's one of these that go down here. It's like it's like a makeup commercial, right? Like Robin is doing like Akron makeup of some kind. So, what do I like better? Do I like the Sparkle one better, or the Robin like makeup one better? I think I like the Sparkle one slightly more. So, Sage, I meant the one before Sparkle them out. No, yeah. I got what you were putting down, Sage. I disappointed you. I'm sorry. JD, your turn to put pressure on me. No, JD, no, I don't want to put yours low as well. Just wait till Sparksy's short has us sobbing. Oh yeah, I I'm excited for Sparkle to get character focus. I really am. She needs it. She does. She needs character focus. First Aventurine trailer is him being interrogated by Sunday. Yeah, this is like the same cutscene, right? It like zooms out on him, and like it's like him be yeah. This is again. This one is also going down here, but I do think it's pretty. I think it's ahead of these two. This one is interesting from kind of like you connect to 2.1, right? It's also Aventurine, a more interesting character. Like this is one of the best characters in the entire game, right? That said, he gets like two of these, right? This is the one where like he's like meeting with like just a prospective customer. It's more fun. Jay's a part of it as well, if I remember correctly. No, this is the one I was thinking, the one over here. Um, I think I'm gonna put this one right here. Sparkle ahead, but still ahead of the makeup one. Or do I have the makeup one ahead? I don't know. They're kind of similar. They're more like good vibes esque. When at the end he says he'd wagered the end of the world. Yeah, it's hot bait. Yeah, well said. It's husbando bait, not waifu bait. It's husbando bait, but it's still a fun trailer, right? Uh, the Robin one. Wait, Robin had an animated. Wait, hold on. I don't remember this at all. Is this the orchestra one? Yeah, this is the orchestra one. Okay, so yeah, this is the one where like they were like doing. So it's not necessarily Robin. Like Kafka gets a little bit of it. Yeah, then you get like the Robin. No, that's Jing Liu, but Robin's in like a detective outfit almost at one point. Yeah, here we go. There's a lot of ship kind of like a lot of ship bait between Trailblazer and Robin at this point. You guys remember this bullshit? You guys remember this bullshit? Remember when they posted this image on Twitter, but it was like official art, and they got like 150,000 likes on Twitter? You guys remember that shit? I think to this day it's still the most liked post from the English Star Rail account. I think it is. Also, I mean, look at him. Like, can you argue against it? Um, this is about the Dove. Oh, I was wrong. This is fun, but still a 4 star. Yeah, that was a great trailer. I think this is the first 4.5 star. I think this is gonna be like towards the end of it. But yeah, it's a ton of fun. You can kind of see the characters in a vibe that you usually don't get to see them in, right? A lot of hype characters as well. We didn't I think that's the first time we ever got to see Kafka in like an animated like anime style, like a shooting anime style, right? Before then we had only really ever seen her in like shoot her 3D model. Oh wait, no, the Myriad Celestia technically, I guess, like the Japella Rebellion Myriad Celestia. But yeah, just a really fun trailer all around, and um, the orchestra trailer is always a good time. So yeah, I mean, what can I say? What can I say? I mean, what did you guys expect, right? What did you expect? It's Firefly. I mean, they were hyping this animated short to no end. I remember seeing like rumors that like a few like Hoyoverse employees were like hyping this trailer up to like on social media and to like their family members and like close friends. They were like basically like, hey, like this trailer, be ready, because it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna break the internet. And man, it is phenomenal. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna take a bit of a water break again. Oh goddamn. Sage, I saw so much editing of this image. Some were very horny. The adventuring image you're talking about, right? No, yeah, bro. I remember watching a stream, but I think what was it? Clara's voice actor. I think it was like Clara, Topaz, and Robin. Not Robin. Clara, Topaz, and Robin's voice actor. I think and they were like freaking out on stream together. It was fun. It was fun. And then Camden, the English VA for Aventurine, came in, and he like voice acted the quote from the post. It was great. Um, and 4-star slash as I say, don't even join. I say you're fucking rage baiting me here. That said, you guys might be surprised by this. I don't think it's the best animated short in the game. I think it's really high. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, this is gonna be at the very top tier. Like, Glamoth, backstory, Firefly, massive Firefly backstory characterization, probably the most gorgeous animation, in an animated short alongside Finance, right? Like, it's this animated short and Finance. Those are the best pieces of animation that we've gotten in Star Rail. That and then in the 2-year anniversary one, but in a different way. The action, the OC is incredible, and like just setting up again Stellaron Hunters. It's the Stellaron Hunters. Like, it's just fucking insane. Um, yeah, just really just all around amazing. Nah, it's a 5-star just because Ether made a guest appearance. Ether from Genshin Impact. Oh yeah, because Ether's voice actor, Zach, what is his name? Zach Linder. Basically, Ether's Zach Aguilar. Thank you. Zach Aguilar voices Ether in Genshin Impact, and he voice acted the Glamoth member who sacrificed himself to blow up the swarm that was on the planet. Yep. He's the one that that tells Firefly to push the button to blow up the planet. And then Firefly miraculously survives. Don't know how. But yeah, just fantastic animated short. I mean, what else can you say? The Jade one is fun because, I mean, again, it's not necessarily one of the like Omega animated shorts, but it's fun. You get to see her in like 2D art style. It's very similar to this one over here, where it's just a nice little like piece of content for her. Nothing crazy. In fact, let's put it right next to Aventurine. It's just Aventurine is ahead because he's Aventurine. The Jiao Cho one. This is the one where you get like cooking, like real life cooking, right? Like, hold on. Let's go. Let me show you guys what I mean. Is it on here? I hope it is. Yeah. Is this the one where like they fucking showed him like cooking? No. Or was that his character trailer? Okay, I guess it was a different trailer. I misremembered. But yeah, this trailer is starting to come back to mind because I remember this pretty well. Like, it's basically like showing like Fei Xiao and the relationship that he has with her, like expanding on like his thoughts of like, oh, I'm a doctor, but like, hey, like, what's my philosophy on being a doctor that also goes into war? And like he kind of speaks on that. It's a decent trailer. That said, I do think it's gonna be towards over here. I think it's right behind the New Year's animated short. It's not doing anything too crazy. It's kind of in the same vein as the Aventurine one where he's getting interrogated by Sunday. Cool character focused trailer. This one has a bit more characterization than the Aventurine one, but it isn't like an Omega like animated short. It just isn't. Seriously though, I think seeing an HSR Warzone was just a breath of fresh air for the lore and world building as a whole. I agree, Sage. I think we had always heard about these like massive, like galaxy changing events in Star Rail, and the Firefly animated short is the first time we get to see it. Like, the first time we get to see something of that scale. Obviously, we've seen it now before with Inforius, right? With Finon taking on Nanook, with Iron Tomb's ascension and us fighting against Iron Tomb. Like, we've seen it like a couple times now. But getting to see Glamoth and everything we had heard about Glamoth and in its entirety was amazing. So this trailer is basically Jiao Cho being a hype man for Fei Xiao. Oh, really? Did I misremember it? Because I thought it was a bit more like him, like being introspective about his role as a doctor and like, hey, should a doctor go to the front lines and stuff like that? Fei Xiao's is just really wholesome and funny. Yeah, Fei Xiao's is really wholesome. I like. It was also like during a time period where like the English dub was like up in the air, like we weren't sure what was happening. So it's only available in Japanese with Japanese voice acting. There's a very specific screenshot of Fei Xiao's that I really like. Look at this. Look at this zero brain cell face. Hold on. Look at this. There is not a single brain cell in her head at this very moment. She is enjoying her meat bun, or whatever that is, to its fullest. I aspire to be like this. 1000%. But yeah, it's just really cute and wholesome. It's like basically just Fei Xiao getting ready for the day, going to work. We're going to a meeting with Jing Yuan and Hua Yan, and like just running into trouble along the way. It's a fun one. I think I'm gonna put it. Actually, you're not gonna like this stage. I'm gonna put it right here, right ahead of the New Year's one, but behind the orchestra one. So I like it. I mean, Fei Xiao was one of his patients. He does talk about her a lot in that trailer, but to be fair, he does follow her now. Okay, fair enough. Look, it kind of sounds like a mix of both. I probably should have watched it before, but I do remember a decent part of it. Seeing Jing Yuan's way of life too, it was a fun comparison. Yeah, like he like wakes up and he's like more like slow to get on with his day, and then Fei Xiao's just like rushing to and from. The Rappa animated short. This one was cool. Like it's a very different animated short. The art style is completely different. It kind of like teases primitive just a little bit. Like I think a lot of us didn't expect like when we first watched this animated short, like a lot of us weren't like, "Oh, it's Dr. Primitive for sure." But there were theories, right? And like getting to see those theories like come true in 2.6, yeah, 2.6 was cool. I don't think it's like, again, I think it's very similar to Zhao Cho's. I'm gonna put it ahead of his just because I think the art style is super unique. And yeah, like you said, Sage, it's basically a music video. It's like less of like a video to watch that's telling a story, more of a music video, but it's still super cool, very unique. Definitely the best trailer that Rappa has for sure, in my opinion. That said, her character trailer is also pretty good, but it gets carried by the OST though, in my opinion. Okay, so we've got the Herda animated short. This one is also, I think, solid. I'm not expecting it to like. I don't think. I think the thing with the Herda animated short is once we heard there was gonna be one, we were expecting more, right? Like this is Herda, right? Like we were expecting one of these four, but it's more wholesome. It's like her like learning like I think it was like her cooking, right? Like trying to bake a cake for Ron May's birthday, and like her just being kind of like a complete mess. But it was still fun. It was still a good time. I think I'm gonna put it right around here, maybe behind Rappa's, maybe ahead. Let me go back and watch it just really quickly here. Yeah, it is fun to kind of see like her like daily life. She is being like kind of derpy and not seeing a side of her that we get to see all too often. And the animation is still really solid. Oh, wrong one. I keep going back to the first time. My bad. I was hoping for a members meetup reveal. Oh well, yeah, that would be cool. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think we were expecting just a bit more. It's like expectations might have been too high, which isn't the fault of the trailer. It's still a solid trailer. So I'm gonna put it ahead of Rappa's, even though I think Rappa's is more unique, just because I just think that the visually this is just an amazing trailer. But okay, here we go. We got some heavy hitters. I mean, basically from here to the end, it's peak after peak after peak after peak, isn't it? Oh, man. The Amphorius animated shorts. Bro, they're like, hey, what if we did the Honkai Impact the Third thing and we made our animated shorts a part of the story? And they're like, you're a genius. Mind blown. You're a genius. Fucking hell, man. God damn. Oh my god. Honestly, I'm tempted to put it ahead of Fireflies. I am. I'm tempted to put it ahead of Fireflies. I think Fireflies is still more engaging. I think it tells. I think it has. It's Fireflies is more of a roller coaster, right? Up and down, like action, slow, action, OST, boom, 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 right? Like it's more of a spectacle. But man, Castoras's animated short is just so beautiful. Just a nice, somber story of a girl who was given a bad, deal in life. Seeing how, as a child, she very quickly like came under like pressure from the adults in her life, right? And how she just fell along with them, and it was basically used as an executioner, and how she like she would like spy on like other kids from far away, and she would like bro, oh my god, this, you know what breaks my heart every time? Yeah, I think everyone's heart shattered here. This is just horrible. Like seeing her like pretend to like be dance with her friends. Oh my god, this broke me when I first watched the animated short. God, dude, it was awful. Like it's just so sad. I cried multiple times during this animated short. I did not expect it to be this good. But another thing is it's gorgeous. I mean, just obviously she's drawn very well throughout this entire animated short. But then like obviously like the one friend that she had as a child grows up, and she kind of requests like for Castris to like, let her pass. But in she also like in a way uses the last bit of life that she had left to grant Castris the one thing she had always wanted, a genuine embrace. And she breaks down, and yeah, this is what I was trying to get to. Kind of like the pencil sketches of the animated short, kind of showing her running towards the light with Polixia, that's supposedly Polixia, and like other children as well. Oh my god, just a gorgeous trailer, beautiful in every sense, just incredible. That I keep going back to the first tab. Like I said, we'll see. This trailer could end up being ahead of Fireflies. I'm not joking. Um, yeah, this is the best like fun animated short in that they've released. I think it's right here. I think it. Every character is pretty much in it. It's gorgeous. Probably the one of, if not the most visually impressive trailers they've ever made. Like this, like there's not a lot of action in it, but visually it's still animated in such a way that it's as impressive as the Firefly and the Final one, in my opinion. But not only that, I mean, like you get to see characters and scenarios you didn't think you'd get to see them before, right? Like you got to see the High Cloud Quintet giving a concert, Svarog like having a nice glass of beer. Like there's like this chess match between Himiko and Kafka. And it did kind of set up some interesting like teases for like future potential story events. So really, really great animated short. Oh boy, here comes depression. Indeed. Cassis is still the longest one. It's like 7 minutes. And they used every bit of those 7 minutes to perfection. Lygus on Castlode is enough to hate him. True. For honestly, all I need to hate Lygus is this shot right here. This is all I need to hate Lygus. Castra is dancing by herself with sticks. Fuck you, Lygus. Oh, I was so sad. When everyone got to the rewritten trailer, the part where cast can actually touch now, 9 out of 10, they'd sob then and there. Yeah. Oh yeah. Bro, this fucking hell. What an animated short. Yeah. I mean, what else can we say? I mean, yeah. Whoa, excuse me. Sorry. Tried to mute there, but didn't get it in time. Vinon's animated short is perfection in every way. The way it starts with the cycles and him aging up as he's running, then you get to the confrontation of Nanook, The sword comes out, the shirt comes off, the action is incredible. The song is hitting hard from the beginning, but then you get the fucking just jaw-dropping Zephyro reveal out of nowhere, and like Zephyro comes in and the two just start going at it. It's very clear that Zephyro is completely out of Finon's league, but he fights back, fucking cuts off his own wing because the other one got caught off by Zephyro, fucking fights back. Then they break beyond the boundaries of Amphorius. Like, I don't know if a lot of people realize that Finon became real. He did, on his own merit. Finon just straight up, in his fight against Zephyro, breaks from the simulation, turns into a galaxy-sized fireball, and manages to scratch the Nook. It is incredible. Just one of the most adrenaline-packed moments in the entire game. And everything leading up to it, with Finon transforming into, you know, his core flame form, thanks to the memories and power that he gets from his previous incarnation, from Kaslana, and then him confronting Lygus. Oh, perfect. We've all said this. 3.4 is probably still the best story patch in Star Rail, and a big part of it is this animated short. So, Sage, guess what? My fave? Yeah, Sage, I think it's a lot of people's favorite. It might be mine. It's probably the best built-in trailer for the game story, Chew. Yeah, I agree. And it actually was Zephyro, true. Spell it wrong, Zephyro. Yeah. So a lot of people say, let's go there, because it's not like straight up confirmed, right? But in this moment here, where Zephyro comes down from whatever that light, this is the simulation, right? Nanook is real. He's like overlooking all this, but everything else is Iron Tomb, still the simulation, right? So this is the simulation. And then eventually you get to this point where Zephyro and Finon break out of the confines of Amphorius. At this point, Finon is real. Like, you can see Amphorius in the background. Like, I bet if you panned a camera out, like, elsewhere, you can see the Astral Express, like, nearby. But at the same time, Zephyro is now real. So what happened here, you guys remember, or maybe you don't, but there's at one point in Simulated Universe, I don't remember which Simulated Universe it is, might be Golden Gears, who knows. But at one point, the Simulated Universe has Polka, or not, is it Polka? But like, basically, I think it's Polka. She comes in and essentially assimilates her simulated self into herself. Zephyro does that here. Like I said, this is simulated Zephyro that shows up here. And then this is real Zephyro. The real Zephyro assimilates the simulated version of Zephyro into himself. I don't think it happens here, though. I don't think it happens here. I think the assimilation happened before. I think it happens right here. Zephyro gives Finon his sword back. Right here. He tosses the sword back to Finon. I think that's when Zephyro starts to assimilate his simulated self. That's a tongue twister. Because if that Zephyro was still truly a simulation, for what reason would a simulated Zephyro have to give Finon back his sword? This is Iron Tomb. Iron Tomb is trying to, at all costs, stop Finon from what he's doing. Zephyro has no reason to like give Finon his sword back. He just needs to kill him as quickly as possible. The fact that Zephyro gives Finon his sword back tells me that at this point, Zephyro is starting to become his self, his real self. So yeah, good catch, Sage. Good catch. Zephyro literally went there on behalf of Nanook to test Finon's skills. Either that, or he like realized that somewhere in the universe, he would like a simulated version of himself was fighting Finon. He was like, I want in on this, and then he like just like teleported there. I don't know, but yeah, best animated short in the game, I think. We'll see. So this is the Dan Heng one. This one is gorgeous. It is. There's not a lot going on in this one. Like, it's not moving the same way the Firefly one and the Finon one are moving, right? It's slower, more timbre. There's more like resonance to it, but it's deeply emotional and one of the most beautiful art styles that they've used in an animated short. And let's not forget what came before the animated short. It was beautiful character writing for not just Dun Hung, but Dun Fung. Who would have thought Dun Fung would have gotten character focus in Amphorius, but also the High Cloud Quintet. And then it focuses on the relationship that Dun Hung has with the Trailblazer, his journey to try to locate them, to bring them back into the fold, right? It's a beautiful trailer. It truly is. I mean, it's going to go up in the S tier as well. And yeah, yeah. How many of us were just broken? Just straight broken. It's either one or two. Just straight up, just holy shit, what is happening? Oh my, I can still hear the song in my head. I can still hear Ripples of Past Reverie, like the song, the OST. God, just the seeing kind of the end of the journey, kind of seeing Cyrene take the role of Fully and the role of the storyteller, kind of like her going to rest, like going to sleep, kind of going through the cycles of again. But before she does that, like there's moments of her being genuinely happy with the Trailblazer, and obviously there's like the scene where like he puts the ring on. That was also really heartwarming. But then like you also get all the other Crisis airs, and you get like a proper farewell. It's just the culmination of 7 story patches and a beautiful song, gorgeous animation, gorgeous artwork, and just seeing all the Crisis eras as well, like getting to live normal lives and like a tease for potentially the future as well. Once Amphorius, once Amphorius's causality is set in stone, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All of us were sobbing. Suki, you can't break me. PGR break me before anything. Hey, Suki, PGR. I hear it's depressing as shit. This was a different kind. This was a different kind of sadness. This was us sobbing in so many different ways. Depression, hope, relief, bittersweet, just everything, everything. So, okay, let's start kind of redoing this. Actually, I think I like the Robin more than the Jade one. I'm pretty happy with this tier. Like this tier, I think is like animated shorts that they're cool, right? They're like shorter. They're like little teasers, less than animated shorts. But we'll see. Like PGR have this kind of sadness that I ain't ever playing PGR then, because I don't need more depression than what Star Rail gives me. Sage, you can read Sephiroth's proverb to confirm that he was there the whole time. He somehow got into the computer system and then left the Finon during the battle. Also, yes, Cyrene is his top tier. Really? I did not know that. That is very cool. Where can I find this proverb, Sage? Or if you can link it to me, or I'll look for it after the stream. Don't worry about it. Very cool. But yeah, so what we need to decide now is whether or not I want to move any of these down to this tier. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I move any of these down a tier? Fucking hell. Because I just don't know. Like, right now, I'll tell you guys where my head is at right now. I think potentially, if I wanted to move any of these down a tier, oh shit, my bad. I think this is what I would do. I'm not saying that these two aren't peak fiction, because they are. I just think these are on another level. I think this one is really cool. Again, the art's gorgeous, and the lore tease is really nice. But as much as I love kind of like the switch from the first half to the second half, and as much as I love Yuri bait, it's not doing too much else from us aside from that, right? Aside from like looking pretty and a little bit of lore tease for the future of Penacony and Akron's backstory, it's mostly not doing so. What I guess what I'm saying is that it's incredible visually, and it's an incredible experience, but it doesn't leave that much of an overall lasting impact. And then this one is just like, I guess, as beautiful as the art style is, there's not a lot of like extreme movement, right? There's not a lot of like high octane action or like anything crazy going on here. It's more subtle, more subdued, and the ones up here were just crazy fast roller coasters that took our emotions to and from. So that's like what I'm thinking here. But like, man, like I'm just these two just aren't on the same level as these two. Here's what we're doing. Add a row below. How do I change? Can I change color? I can. So we got yellow, we got orange, we got red. So what do I do here? Do I do like a green? No. We did orange. Oh, I see what we're doing. I see what we're doing. So it's in order from here. So red, orange, yellow. So this one becomes this color. This one becomes this color. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm confused. Red. If I switch this to orange, what happens? Okay. Back to red. Cool. Let's go like blue here. Orange. Yellow. Oh, I'm colorblind. Let's grab this. The font is like screwing up my vision. Yeah, that's a different shade of orange. There we go. Oh yeah, the proverb in 3.7. Each Lord Ravager was watching in forests include Zephyro. I know Asap Pramad, Fantilia, Zephyro, and Selenova. Wait, really? The proverb is in the first area of the ruins of time. Bro, I had no knowledge of this. Holy shit! I need to go read that immediately. I will do so immediately after stream. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is this is 4.5 star. This is gonna be 4 star. This is gonna be 3 star. Fun stuff. There we go. Much more comfortable. Suki, you missed totally, I think. I missed it. I should do it with you guys. I might. Thing is, we're already at 2 hours. And my voice is shot. We'll see. We'll do it at the end if my voice isn't like completely shot. Okay, here we go. And then we're gonna do this. I think that's better. I think this is better. I think these are basically on the same level as these, just slightly lower. Slightly. But now the order. So I'm comfortable with the order from down here. What order do I have the top tier in? I think this is my favorite animated short. I did not cry the way I cried harder in this animated short than my hype on the Finons animated short. Then it's Firefly and Casterus, I think. Then Don Hung, then Jingen, and then I think this is it. I think this is my order. I'm comfortable with this. Let's do it. Sugi, you can read up the proverb. It pretty interesting, kind of confirm that they watch. Okay, then we'll do it at the end. We'll do it at the end. How long is each proverb? I assume it's not too long. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, Suki, Sage, JD, if you're still there, this is the big boy. This is the big one. These are the ones everyone knows and loves, the character demo trailers. We're going to go through these pretty quickly, unfortunately, because there is many of them. We're also going to have more I think tiers. We're gonna do 5. I think. This is gonna be peak Honkai, peak Honkers Star Rail. Honkers is the real name of Star Rail, of course. This is gonna be almost peak Honkai Star Rail. Here we're gonna do amazing trailer touching peak. Then this is gonna be solid trailer. I guess it was all right. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is good. I think these are categories that I like. Because I think the character trailers are mostly all really well done. This is like going to be a very top heavy list. It's just that some of them are just very like they're not anything too crazy. And we're gonna go in order as well. Yep, exactly, Sage. Early ones aren't the greatest, not just because I don't think the story creators quite knew the scope of their story yet, right? That always happens. The very beginning of your story is always going to be a bit less dynamic because you still don't have an idea how long it's going to be, how successful your story is going to be. Like you could get canceled, like your story might not perform well with your audience, and like you, who knows, right? So you gotta keep things low and steady. That said, yeah, I mean, Marches is fun. It's like she's like being a girly girl, but it's not anything special, right? Like you get like a little bit of her ult, her taking a couple of pictures, and yeah, it sets up her character a little bit, but nothing crazy. Serval's, I think, is gonna be towards, I think, slightly higher than Marches, and it's gonna be, it's better than Marches, I think, because like the song is cool. I think the fact that it has a song makes it unique. Like Serval is like singing. So for now, I'm gonna put it in solid trailer, but it could drop. Bailu, gonna go. I think below Marches. I think Marches has more character. Fun fact: I think Bailu's is still the most watched Star Rail video on YouTube. No, okay, Robbins is now. Bailu's is 24 million views. You guys want to know why? Because this trailer was actually used as an ad on YouTube, I think. And each time you watch the ad, you get a view technically. And so because it was used as an ad, it was just like fucking getting those views stacked up on the Bailu trailer. It's so funny that this very like mediocre trailer has 24 million views. Oh shit, my bad. Let's go back. No, I don't want to. I don't want to look the. There we go. But yeah, White Knight thankfully, has the most views. It deserves it. Yanqing's again, it's an early trailer. I think it's slightly better than Bailu, but Marches still has a little bit more characterization for me. Sage, I don't think they realized what to do with these trailers, to be honest. They were fun, but now it does give character. It gives a little bit of character, yeah. They're not horrible, but like most of these bottom tiers are for these earlier trailers, for sure. 3.0 song was such a massive hit. Oh yeah, White Knight's amazing. White Knight's one of the best like songs they've made, I think, for Star Rail, period. Himiko's, I think, is one of the better early trailers. Obviously, it's the fact that, Himiko, right? Oh, cool. Himiko XP. But also the fact that like it reveals like the other like Astral Express members as well. And you get to see her ult. You can kind of see the Express a little bit more. So I think it's better. Japard's I think is also okay. I think I want to put it ahead of Marches because it does have his ult and his ult's really damn cool. But I think Marches just has better characterization, so I'm gonna put it here. Zila is the first trailer that like starts to get a bit better. I think I'm gonna put it here for. Oh no, that's Black Swan. I think I'm gonna put it here for now. I think it could drop in the future, But I mean, you do get a really nice moment with like her and Branya. The animation is still really good, and the voice acting is there. The OST is there, so I think it's solid. I don't know if I would call it an amazing trailer though, so we'll see if this drops in the future. Very similar. Jing Yuan's is very similar to Zila's. This has a little bit more lore, slightly better animation, I think. So I might put it ahead. The thing is, Jing Yuan. Excuse me. Hold on. I need a water break. I need a water break. Sage, they needed to do more. She's really the de facto leader of the Trailblazers. Talk about Himiko. I agree. Obviously Himiko is gonna get an SP soon, and when Himiko does get an SP, that's going to be a character. Like Himiko SP is gonna be one of the most invested characters they're gonna have pretty much since like Evanesia or Finon and Cyrene. She's gonna be that level of character, right? The Himiko SP is just gonna get a ton of attention, so they're gonna make up for it. Don't worry. But yeah, I think Jing Yuan's is very similar to Zila's, probably slightly better because I think it has a little bit more lore in it, a little bit more insight into like kind of like Xianzhou like dynamics. Silverwolves is the first one I would put in this tier. Her trailer is super fun. Again, the OST is great. The start of it is super funny with like the text between her and Kafka. Animation is good. Just a really solid trailer all around. Definitely the best early trailer in my opinion that they had. Silver, and it makes sense, right? Silverwolf was one of like the earlier characters that they were introducing that they knew was going to be a long running um, character. She's a Stellaron hunter, right? The very first Stellaron hunter we're releasing. We need to make sure this one is really solid. So yeah, Silverwolf is great. As long as they don't mess up 4.x, true, but I don't think they're gonna mess. I I think if 4.x is a mess, the one thing that we can count on not being a mess in 4.x is Himiko's SP. I think Himiko's SP is number one priority for them because again, leader of the Astral Express, she's being built up to be like Kafka's like parallel, and it's Himiko. Himiko is one of the most popular like character faces in all of Hoyoverse. Like they know what they know how to handle her. I think the XPs of her too. Oh yeah, the XP for Silverwolf as well is going to be very important, and Blade as well. Lochas is decent. I agree. Lochas is I think solid. I think I would put it slightly ahead of Himiko's. But not by much. I think this it's interesting for sure, right? And obviously, Locha's character is interesting as well. In theory, we still need to get more screen time with him. Is he Void Archives? Is he not? Who knows? I think with time, we'll get more attention. He's definitely going to be a trailer. He's definitely going to be a character that gets an SP for sure, right? So Blades is also really solid. This one, I think it's not quite. It doesn't have quite the like charisma that Silverwolves has, but I do think it's the. I think it's the first trailer we get where like the animation is like really solid. So I think I'm gonna put it in the same vein as Silverwolves, like just like the tone of it. The animation was the first time it really popped off. The OST is amazing. Actually, I might put it ahead of Silverwolves. We're gonna keep it there. I think. We just hope 4.x isn't messed up or being too greedy about it. They know how they handle Cyrene. Yeah, exactly. Like I don't think they're gonna mess up Himiko's story at all. Blaze is the first peak in my opinion. Really, Sage, you're gonna put it all the way up there. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. It's really solid. Yeah, that music is such a banger. Yeah, the Don Hung setup, Ying Zing, all that stuff. Yeah, it's a really good trailer. I don't know if I would quite have it in peak. Also, hold on. You know what? I'm gonna wait till we get there. But having said of the first peak trailer, we. Oh man, I mean, we all knew this is gonna be the case, right? This is basically the Zhongli trailer for Star Rail, right? Like, remember when Zhongli's trailer came out in Genshin and that got like a ton of views? Everyone was reacting to it. It was like the trailer that everyone pointed to for a long time. That's what this trailer was for Star Rail. This was like, oh my god, this is like